Hey everyone, this is Chansky. Today I want to demonstrate how I farm Act 2 in Inferno. So what I'm going to do is select a quest, which I just did, the Black Soulstone on Inferno difficulty, and I choose to pick the last arc of the quest, so I get this waypoint to get to the Archives of Zoltan Kuhl. Now if I choose so, I can just go straight into Zoltan Kuhl's little lair there and like kill him, but that wouldn't be farming, it would just be stupid. You get like 2 blues because I don't run Magic Find. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get 5 stacks of Nephilim Valor. Now my build, I use a Blizzard, Venom Hydra, and Magic Missile build. I don't use Diamond Skin or Teleport, but I do use Force Armor. So I don't get one shot by these little demons that just pop out of the ground. Or stuff that's just faster than I am. Now, what I'm going to do is, like I said, get 5 stacks. With this build, though, I do die because sometimes things will just happen. I don't have very much health. I don't stack defenses or anything like that. My health is about 36,000. So stuff hits me for 35% of my health with that Force Armor up. Like pretty much everything is going to hit me for 35% of my health. I don't have resistances and I don't stack armor. But what I do is I just stack damage, and I use the Blizzard with the increased AoE radius so that it can combo with the Venom Hydra. Against this first pack of elites, these are very convenient to fight, and it's also one of the reasons why I choose to farm elites inside the unknown depths, inside this last part of the quest here, because these walls right here, these sand walls, these sand gates, they actually block all projectiles, and I'm sure you've noticed, but you can cast Blizzard and you can cast Venom Hydra through them. You can't cast Magic Missile through them, but with the Venom Hydra and the Magic Missile, you pretty much do enough damage to kill anything in a timely manner, even elites. The Magic Missile is just there to pump my passive and to deal the extra damage when I can. I'll just dance around these guys a little bit and take my time with the Magic Missile. And Venom Hydra and Blizzard pretty much do everything. There was a time when I was actually running only Venom Hydra and Blizzard, and I was using just the Familiar to deal damage. You notice there's the Familiar next to my head actually fires off every single time I cast anything. And the way I would force it to fire off when I'm not casting Blizzard or Venom Hydra is I would hit T for Town Portal. And if you hit T for Town Portal, I'm pretty sure this is a bug that Blizzard didn't intend for it to work this way. If you hit T for Town Portal, your Familiar will fire off a little shot. And it's not that much. It's only 20% of your weapon damage, but it's just something that I was playing around with. The extra skill slot I needed for Diamond Skin. But I find that if I do my footwork correctly, if I play carefully, I don't need Diamond Skin, I don't need Teleport for Act 2. Act 3 is a different story, maybe I'll make a video on that another time. But Act 2 I find to be the most efficient farm spot for me. If I do Zoltan Kuhl and Belial back to back with 5 stacks. Let's see. Getting stuck here. And there's nothing up there, so I'm just gonna leave those guys. Now when I look for elites in dungeons, I always go north when I'm playing a ranged class. I will always go north because if you go south, the bottom of the screen will only show you about 50 yards ahead of what's ahead of you. But if you go north, you'll see like 100 yards of what's ahead of you. So it's pretty much like increasing your sight radius. So if you go north, then you'll be able to see more stuff coming at you. You'll be able to dodge things more effectively. And it's just an all-around better idea. Sometimes you're just going to be forced to go south. I just always choose to go north first because, hey, if that 5th stack, it's pointless to explore the rest of the screen. Now, these are the kinds of things that'll kill you, are those little obelisks that spawn spiderlings. They will kill you because 3 spiders spawn on top of you, and if they all hit you and you don't dodge any of them, you're dead. Like I said, I don't have too much HP, and I just go with a damage build. It's pretty much a suicide build. It's a post-nerf version of Week 1's Suicide Wizard build. See there, I'm running 70,000 damage, which isn't extremely easy to get to. You kind of have to have either some real money or some gold that you're willing to spend on gear. And also, I want to talk about how that's actually a typo. I don't actually have 70,000 damage. It says 70,000 because it calculates force weapon twice. The force weapon is supposed to give you 15% increased damage, but it doesn't. According to Blizzard's tooltip, it doesn't. It actually does give you 15% of your damage when you're dealing damage, but Blizzard's tooltip, little damage rating there, will trap myself here. Sorry about that. All right, Blizzard's tooltip will actually calculate it twice, and it's a bug. It's not supposed to. And what happens is you end up getting a lot more than you're supposed to as just a number. Now, the guys I just killed there, I don't know why, but I think they just gave me a lot more stacks than I'm supposed to get of Nephilim Valor. And it might have been because their health was linked. But anyway, that's another bug that happens sometimes, I've noticed. It'd be nice to get those kinds of mobs constantly. You don't have to farm. It takes so long. This video is probably going to take longer than 15 minutes, which is my YouTube limit. So I'm going to have a part 2 for sure, and I'll just have like a link to the second part. And right here, if you're ever in one of these hallways and you see a chest sitting right in the middle of one of these little cells, the moment you open that chest, 4 dudes are going to spawn at the 4 corners. So you just want to be ready for that, especially as a squishy class. Right now, I'm trying to do is just get that 5 stack going, and I'll hit up Zoltan Cool. There's actually a very interesting little. There's another elite. There's actually a very interesting little. I guess it's an exploit. That's not an elite. There's an exploit you can do on Zoltan Cool where you trap him on one side of the bridge. You go to the other side of the bridge, and if you have a spell that travels for at least 100 yards or so, it will hit him, but he won't be able to hit you, and he will be too lazy to move around the arena to get to you. This probably has nothing to do with laziness, but it's probably just their AI programming that's at fault here. I'm going to go over to the other side over here, the Storm Halls, I believe. Yeah. And I'm going to grab one more elite pack, and then I'll be good to go with Zoltan Cool. So probably take. I'm not sure exactly how long this entire farming session will take, but if I don't die too much, it'll probably take 20-25 minutes at most to do all of this, which is pretty fast. My friends and I actually tested how fast it would, how long it would take us to solo Act 1, doing exactly the same thing, getting 5 stacks, and starting at the Warden, so doing Warden and Butcher. So pretty much the same idea here, doing 2 bosses with 5 stacks. Oh, there's the last lead that I need to get. And of course their damage reflection is going to take forever. My strategy against damage reflection is try not to use too much poison. Oh, I made a mistake there and I got killed by the frozen. But my strategy here is use a lot of pots. I'm almost out of pots. I'm going to Blizzard them to slow them down, and I'm just going to use Magic Missile. Because with these 2 skills, you can still kind of control how much damage you're taking. But with the Poison Dude, you're going to be doing a lot of damage, taking a lot of damage, and if they don't move out of the poison, you're going to die. So, actually, I don't need to kill these guys. I'm just going to get out of here. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that Blizzard doesn't stack with attack speed. And so one of my build philosophies is not use too much attack speed. Blizzard's cast speed will go up with attack speed, but its damage won't tick for increased damage. The way attack speed works in this game, with stuff like Venom Hydra and stuff like Blizzard, is that with Blizzard, you'll cast it faster, but it won't tick for more damage. With Venom Hydra, you'll both cast it faster. Now the Venom Hydra will not spit faster, but his spit will tick for more damage, or maybe it ticks faster, I don't know. Tests have been done. So here's Zoltan Cool. I'm going to show you that spot that I was talking about. Hopefully I don't get by a random fireball because I don't see Zoltan on my screen right now. Yeah, it's very simple. If you can, if you see where Zoltan is sitting right now, at the other edge of this arena. Oh my god, that tornado hit. Yeah, I got it. Tornado spawned right next to me. Alright, you see where Zoltan is on the map right there? He's going to be stuck there if I don't move from my spot. I'm going to try to see if I can get a better angle so you can see exactly what I'm doing. And normally, you probably won't die on this fight because it's one of the easiest fights in the game. Especially with this little exploit or bug or whatever. I'm just going to take care of his little constructs, which are pretty simple to take care of. Just hope Zoltan Cool gets stuck on that little platform up there. Come on, Zoltan, get stuck. Oh, he moved past it. I'm going to try to get him back in position. Shoot that tornado. Alright, he's coming. Looks like he's... Yep, he's stuck. Venom Hydra sees him. The interesting thing about Venom Hydra is if you cast it in range of something, it won't automatically shoot it unless you can see it. Then the Venom Hydra sees it and then starts spinning. So you can see Zoltan Cool's life going down pretty fast right now. He's not doing anything to stop me. And he's dead. So, yeah, like if sometimes you cast a Venom Hydra behind a wall, like I remember in Diablo 2 you can cast a Hydra behind a wall and then it'll keep shooting Mephisto or whatever. In this game, you cast it behind a wall, it's not going to shoot stuff that it doesn't see or stuff that... Oh, well, I'm going to check out this amulet real quick. Yeah, the Venom Hydra is not going to shoot stuff that it doesn't see or that's out of range of your screen. So you might have to pop in, look at the mob, the Venom Hydra will acquire target, lock on, and just fire away after that. And if you move too far away, it'll stop shooting again. So you kind of have to nurse it a little bit. Alrighty, so after this next quest, we're going to get Belial, but this one is one of the most annoying quests in my opinion because you have to rescue all these dudes that don't really give you anything. I mean, they're not real people, so I'm not a bad person for saying, hey, I don't care about rescuing you guys. Just rescuing pixels. Yeah, I'm totally going the wrong way here. Back to the sewer. So when you talk to a Shear, you gotta rescue these guys, and this is kind of annoying. I want them to implement something that'll let you skip this. Like what? I don't know what happens if you let all the time run. As you can see the little time bar on the right side. Maybe one of you guys can let me know when you guys have tested it out. Do you just like fail the quest and like the entire city explodes and then you have to restart? Because that's what I imagine would happen. But I feel like if I just let the time run, it would just take longer. Because it would take like a full 3 minutes rather than like 1.5 minutes or however long it takes. This part is annoying. You can actually die here because these snakes can just appear on top of you and kill you. And if you don't play a ranged class, you probably haven't noticed, but these snakes, you can't break them out of their invis. At least I haven't been able to do it. Like Blizzard, all over the screen, they just move right through it and take no damage when they're invisible. So if they all just happen to spawn on top of you and hit you 3 times, like 3 guys hit you simultaneously and you don't dodge any of it, then you're going to die as a wizard. I can imagine how frustrating it could be as a witch doctor because you've only got those 2 cooldowns that I know of, the Horrify with the armor and the your own invis, which I think is actually the same spell that these guys cast. I'm not sure. Alright, so that should be it. Rescue these guys. I'm going to show you this little bonus thing that you get when you rescue a lot of these guys. Actually, I'm missing something. I'm missing one guy. I gotta look for him. Usually they appear on the map, but I don't see any dots, so he's probably... I really hope this isn't a bug that causes me to fail this quest. I'm sure it's just some guy that's like stuck somewhere, but anyway, yeah, what happens is if you rescue, the more guys you rescue here, and my brother discovered this, the more guys you rescue here, the more chests you get when you go into the sewer. And I don't think a lot of people know about this reward. After you rescue these people, you can go into that sewer that they went into and open these chests that appear that weren't there before. It's probably this person. It's this person right here. So I hope this works. I don't want this to bug out. Okay, I'm gonna go into the sewer right now. I'm gonna show you the chest that I was talking about. First one always spawns here. Just grab whatever. Need potions. That's good. The second one spawns right here, but I didn't get it, so maybe I didn't rescue enough people, or maybe they changed this so that you don't get the second one anymore. But this lady here sells potions, so I'm gonna stock up on a few before I hit up Belial. Now, ironically, the mobs before Belial are more difficult than Belial himself. And I'm not talking about phase 1 and phase 2 of the Belial fight. I'm talking about this little approach right here that we're about to start. It's actually more difficult than Belial, because these guys can go invisible and smash you. One of the things I like to do is I like to cast Blizzard very close to, if not on top of myself, and just kind of stand in it, so that the moment these mobs appear, I have vision of their life bar, because the Blizzard dealt damage to them, and I'll be able to react quicker. Because the health bar actually appears before I can actually see the monster. And these little green things tick for about 3 to 4k at my armor and resistances, so I really don't want to touch these things, especially because I'm so stingy with pots. I really shouldn't be picking up these health globes for fun, but... And I want to show you an exploit. Oh, it only ticks for 1.2. So I want to show you, it's not really an exploit, I think this is also an oversight from the design team. That mage over there in the top right corner, you can see him shooting stuff at me. The stuff he's shooting doesn't reach me. You can see that it just barely gets there, and then it just disappears. And the guy's not smart enough to run after me, so he thinks he has 100 range, but he actually only has 80 range. I'm just making up numbers here, but you know what I mean. So they should fix that. I mean, I don't mind if they don't, because it'll make farming easy, but it should be fixed. This last approach here is actually pretty dangerous for me, because I don't want to be touching this green stuff on the floor, and these guys spawn, go invisible, and surround you before they appear. Cool. I thought I was going to die there. Actually, I might die here. Okay. Yeah. I lost track. So, like I said, this part is actually harder than Belial, in my opinion, with this build and with this strategy. So I'm just going to finish these guys off. There's always going to be one elite pack at the end of this hallway here, and I really think that they're just there to refresh your stacks. And I really hope they're not damage reflect, because that would just make my day. I probably shouldn't have picked those up. Yeah, they're totally damage reflection. You see how much damage I'm taking? Just taking like tons and tons of damage. So what I want to do is I want to show you something actually. These guys will start channeling their AoE lightning when you get close to them, and they'll stop if you leave their range. But that's actually, no, actually that's technically not true. As long as they're dealing damage to something, as long as they're hitting something, they will keep channeling it. So what I try to do is I try to get them all to cast it at the same time, and then I don't move too far away. So that I could have Leia stay inside. And if Leia is tanking them like that, they'll just keep channeling that, and I can't get him to do it. There are a couple other things that Leia's good for. She can like absorb like projectiles, and she won't like die. She won't she won't flinch. She won't get like knocked around or whatever. Well, I'm not sure about that last part. Yeah, if you can keep Leia inside that electric channel thing that they're doing, then she will actually soak it up, and the mobs can't tell the difference. They'll just keep channeling it, even though they're not hitting you. Alright, so it's Belial time. Just gonna spam spacebar, skip all the stuff. First thing I do is I drop Hydra so that those 4 guys don't get an immediate surround on me. I drop a Poison Nova in a spot that I want to be in, which is usually the top spot. I'm going to stand all the way in the top corner so that nothing can spawn behind me. Now just refresh Blizzard every 6 seconds or so. I'm going to spam Venom Hydra every like 10 to 15 seconds. It's got a 15-second duration. What it's going to do, it's going to leave poison patches all along the approach towards me, so that anything coming up to me will just be taking tons of poison damage. Skip that right away so the patches don't disappear. Oops, too much refresh, and I messed up a little bit, so I got hit. As long as you keep a boss inside Blizzard, and this is one of the reasons why the Blizzard spell is so good, is it slows down bosses. And this works on Diablo Inferno also. You cast Blizzard every time Diablo moves to a new location, usually towards you. I'll talk about it another time. So spamming for spacebar to finish this little animation. Now, if I get hit once by anything here, I'm gonna die. So you just gotta get really good at dodging stuff. And usually he's gonna do the 1, 2, 3 to start. Yeah. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. It's very easy to dodge the 1, 2, 3 attack. I call it the 1, 2, 3 attack. I don't know what it's really called. All you really gotta do is when he puts down his first attack, and there's the breath, I move off to the side to avoid it. When he puts down his first attack, you let it come down, you run towards it. His second attack will always be to the right of his first attack. And then his final attack will always be between the first and the second, but both arms will come down and actually covers a very wide area. So you want to move far away. And I think he's going to do it like right there. 1, I move towards it. 2, 2 arms down. And it's very simple. After that, you just dodge giant swipes. He's almost dead now. There's the 1, 2, 3 attack again. Dodges in exactly the same way. Move towards the first hit. Belial goes down. Now, I know I have what appears to be 70,000 damage, but I don't actually have 70,000 damage. Like I said earlier, it's just a typo or a internal calculation bug. But with this amount of damage, you can do Belial this quickly in one shot with 5 stacks, as long as you dodge all his hits at the end, which is pretty simple because you take him out before his second breath even comes out, and so you don't have to do all that much dodging. There's less room for mistakes. This is my build here. Use Magic Missile with increased damage, increased radius Blizzard, so I don't have to cast it as often to kite. Use Force Weapon, Spark Flint Familiar for the extra 12% damage and a 20% extra attack, which is very useful when you're killing, when you want to blow up barrels with Magic Missile. And of course I got the Force Armor, which is basically my only defensive ability. Got the Arcane Dynamo, which charges up with Magic Missile. Familiar does not charge Arcane Dynamo, by the way, but Arcane Dynamo will buff Blizzard and Hydra. Glass Cannon for the extra damage, and Cold-Blooded for the extra damage, since stuff that I'm hitting is always in the Blizzard. These are the rest of my stats. Like I said before, I don't like using the attack speed thing. The only attack speed I have, and I know a lot of range classes like to stack attack speed, I have 13% on one ring and 14% on the other. And that's pretty much all I have. I'm using a one-hander with an offhand, which isn't ideal. Ideally, I want to have high int and a very slow two-hander so that I can just drop bombs with Venom Hydra and Blizzard and then just walk away and laugh. Pretty much incredibly easy, but in order to upgrade past my current weapons, I'm probably going to need something like 1300 or 1400 two-hander.